We talk about Indian cricket team's Achilles heel, and one of them is definitely to not get rid of the tail irrespective of the format. But this time around in the Lord's Test, well, the Achilles heel, well, it wasn't really there. India made sure that they got the better of the England tail, and as a result of that, England have been bundled out for 192 odd, if I'm not wrong, and the target for India to go 2-1 up in the 5-match series is 193.
193 with 4 wickets falling for 17 runs. India had lost 4 for 11. England have responded with 4 for 17, and it all began yet again the sweep shot. If England are to look back at 2 shots that may have cost them the Lord's Test match, the sweep shot. Harry Brook foolishly tried to sweep an Akashdeep. Stump was gone, sorry. Ben Stokes. Now, Ben Stokes, when you look at, before I come to the shot, let's take a big round of applause for Washington Sundar. 4 wickets for Washington Sundar, including Stokes. And then the magic man, Jasprit Bumrah, with 2 wickets, especially one Yorker that dismissed Cars and Ben. Then if you look at it, Chris Wokes through the gate, inside edge, and that is why when you look at it, these 2 guys have really made a great start. So that's why India will need 193 with Washington Sundar taking 4 wickets. But before I come to Washington Sundar, the sweep shot. Stokes had managed to hit a sweep shot to deep square leg, but then Washington Sundar knew, had it just dipped a bit more, then we could have seen Stokes walk back. Voila, what happened? He tried the sweep, bowled, and then 2 wickets by Bumrah. Yes, Archer and Bashir did take them slightly past 190, but then that was it. England couldn't offer any kind of resistance whatsoever.
I think you talk about Stokes getting dismissed by Washington Sundar while playing that sweep shot. I think let's just go back to the discussion that we had after the tea session, in which Siddharth specifically pinpointed one thing, that if one thing that the Indian cricket team would really have to be wary of is to not play those sweep shots against the likes of Root and company. And why I take the name of Joe Root, because he is going to be England's premier spinner, knowing that Shoaib Bashir might not really bowl. I think he just committed the same mistake. And with that said, Ben Stokes is not the same clutch batter that he used to be for England, irrespective of the format here. This is where it was an ideal chance for him to get back into form, to play an aggressive innings, but that wasn't really to be the case. And this is where England, who literally had a chance to cash in on the opportunity as far as India's weakness is concerned, which is to get rid of tail, that could not happen. And you talk about that sweep shot, I think it was really uncalled for. There was no need to play that. The only thing that Stokes could have really done was to play some kind of textbook cricket, and which wasn't really the case for him. And that's basically turned out to be a disaster for England, because you've talked about baseball, you've talked about how England have revolutionized, quote unquote, the way cricket is played or test cricket is played. Let's just be very clear about it. I think if their bowlers manage to pull off a miracle, great. But in all likelihood, the way India have gone about their work, it does seem that India would be the favourites to take that 2-1 lead in the series. And all that hype about baseball, I think it's just on national highways. It's as simple as that. You bring that in front of them and they'll probably be able to score more than any other team for that matter. But when you bring those testing conditions, I hate to say it, maybe if you're an England fan, you may not like it. I think India and Australia miles ahead.
Exactly, because they play cricket. England doesn't play cricket at this point. Because see, Ben Stokes, now second innings, there's a remarkable stat that has come up. 33, 33, 33. In all the 3 tests, second innings, he's managed a 33. That is Benjamin Andrew Stokes for you in a nutshell. And that is why it is not looking good for England, because see, on this wicket, if Washington Sundar could get this much, imagine what a Shoaib Bashir could have done. But now Shoaib Bashir might not bowl. If he can get painkillers and bowl, maybe, but his ineffectiveness might be highlighted a bit more. True. And that is why Washington Sundar, brilliant stuff from him to dismiss 2 set batters. I mean, look at it. Root, he broke open the floodgates. Jamie Smith, That was the wicket which ensured that India could have dreams of restricting England to under 200. Then he dismissed Stokes, and that's it. Mopped the tail up and ensured that the final wicket would be taken to ensure England couldn't even reach 200. So 193 is the target. Now see, you have close to 1.5 hours today. Okay, you're going past 10:30. There is going to be no major solution in that as well.
Which means that you'll have about 22, 23 odd overs at least.
So 22, 23, looking at the way how the pitch is and how everything is. If India can get to 80 for 1 or 90 for 1 by the close of day's play, and it's 80-20 in India's favour. Because I don't know how this England bowling can set up the win, because Archer will be the key. Because Archer on this particular wicket, up and down bounce, he can really get it to ensure that, okay, something's done. Stokes will be the key. Because up and down wicket, we all know that, see, India have had 2 nightmarish instances. I go back to 2018, different era, different pitch, but yes, you couldn't chase down 193 in Edgbaston, but you couldn't chase down 245 in Southampton.
Yeah.
And on both occasions, when you look at it, there was some assistance from the wicket. I don't know how much this Lord's wicket is giving you that much of assistance. Yes, some deliveries are keeping low, some deliveries are swinging. But is that the class of the Indian batters, or are the England batters playing badly?
I think we talk about Washington Sundar, there has to be more than a special mention for him. A 4-wicket haul for almost nothing, even as Ravi Shastri said from the commentary box, just about 22 odd runs. I think he has really turned out to be a game changer. We talk about, the India's playing 11 that we all discussed, at the beginning of the test match here. I think it was almost a unanimous thing when we said that there's no need of playing 2 spinners. Obviously, Ravindra Jadeja hasn't really been effective with the ball throughout the series now, including this test, but Washington Sundar, there's a specific liking that Gautam Gambhir has for him, and it was clearly seen in the home series against New Zealand, wherein he turned out to be more than an effective spinner for India, ahead of both Ashwin and Jadeja. And this time around, after being underutilized in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, I think he's actually being utilized to the best of his ability. Same can be said about Nitish Reddy. Although in case of Nitish Reddy, it was just a chance that, he had to be given that 1 over so that you could change ends. But these 2 decisions, maybe, they were just a chance taken by India, maybe by the captain, or maybe there was some message from the dressing room. But overall, I think if there's 2, if we have to talk about the talking points, major talking points until the second session of day 4, Washington Sundar's spell, Nitish Reddy's spell throughout this match, I think they'll really have to feature in top 5.
That shuts the door on Kuldeep Yadav. Washington Sundar is playing one more test match.
Live stuff.
But then see, you can't argue now. See, if India go on to win, you can't discount this Washington Sundar spell.
Yeah.
4 wickets when you never even thought that Sundar could do it on this kind of a wicket. But credit to him, the flight, the dip and everything that he had, plus the accuracy, stump to stump. And yes, Root gifting his wicket away when he moved too far to the offside to sweep. That's it. His leg stump got knocked out, and because of that, fantastic effort from Washington Sundar and Jasprit Bumrah. Gulati had pointed out that yes, if you begin the session with Sundar and Bumrah, you will run through the tail,
Just
and
like that
they
happened.
did run through the tail. 4 wickets for 17 runs. Bumrah dishing out a Yorker.
But do you think, Bumrah's calf is a cause of concern?
So what happened in that? We were all, our hearts sunk for a couple of minutes, because as soon as he bowled one delivery, he clutched his calf. He got the magic spray, then that pad came out, it just ensured that okay. But the very next delivery, he got rid of Chris Wokes. So that is why, see, now Bumrah will play one more test match. See, now if you win, you have to go for the jugular in Manchester, you have to play him there.
Yeah, and I think irrespective of the conditions in Manchester, although it's going to aid the swing bowlers a lot, Bumrah has to play there.
He has to play there.
Yeah.
So that's why, see, Bumrah will play Manchester, hopefully give India the series win. Rest at Oval. What more do I have to do then? So that's why, see, India are on the cusp of achieving something that they have never ever achieved. Also, win back-to-back test at Lords. In their entire history of playing there, they have never done that. 86, 14, 21, and now 25. Can it be added into the list? But then see, it's still a long way away. We must not take the England bowlers lightly, because there is a Cars, there is an Archer, there is a Stokes, there is a Wokes, who can trouble India. But India's batters will not gift their wickets away foolishly like what the England batters did.
True.
Harry Brook and Ben Stokes, these two are right. And I will even put Root in this category. There was no need to play that sweep shot. Root was playing proper, conventional, textbook cricket. When he decided to unfold the sweep, gone. He just could not make it. So that's why you got Yashasvi Jaiswal and Chris
Wokes bowling the first over and he leaves it. A good length delivery. So we are going to be back at 11 p.m. with a proper post-day discussion as to what really transpired.
And how much has India gone? And if you look at it, if India are 80 for 1 or 90 for 1,
then it's game
80-20 for India then. Barring a last day collapse if that's the case. But I think India will not do that. So yes, India are on the cusp of achieving something special. Let's see how that pans out. So thank you so much, folks. Join us at 11 for more sporting updates. Long